from a Texas think tank called The Economics of Sex illustrates your view.
So how much does sex cost for men?
It might cost them nothing but a few drinks and compliments. Or a month of dates and respectful attention. Or all the way up to a lifetime promise to share all of his affections, wealth, and earnings with her exclusively.
In the past, it really wasn't the patriarchy that policed women's relational interests. It was women. But this agreement, this unspoken pact to set a high market value of sex, has all but vanished.
And you want to go back to before the sexual revolution?
I think what I would like to point out is that there are trade-offs. It used to be that before the sexual revolution, men actually had to exhibit some kind of commitment before they got sex out of women. What has happened is the price of sex has been driven down. So in order to...
So women should demand more gifts and... engagement rings?
I don't think gifts is the point. I think commitment is the point. Women who have casual sex, or women who start having sex, very early in their teens, for instance, actually have huge emotional scars from that. They're more likely to be depressed. If feminists were really concerned about women's happiness, they would think more seriously about the issue of trying to portray casual sex as something that we should all embrace and that we all have the same interests in. Ultimately, women were the people in society who said, look, we need to have commitment in order for this whole civilization thing to work out. And now the bottom line is you have women who, not only are encouraged to have casual sex. I mean, if you read these stories about what goes on college campuses, women literally, a lot of them have to get drunk in order to participate in casual sex. They think it's a bad idea. It's like, oh, I better get drunk before I go skydiving because I know it's a bad idea, but it'll be better if I'm just not aware of the whole thing.
You say women should have an OPEC of sex?
Well, I mean, the logical sort of conclusion...
OPEC is the oil cartel,
right?
The Middle East.
It's the idea that you could have sort of collusion. See, what's happening is that other women are driving down the price of sex. So, if the woman next to you is willing to go to bed with a guy just after one drink, and you're sitting there saying, oh, well, I want commitment, you're going to lose.
Women should get together.
Right. The women could get together and say, look, we've decided to raise our prices.
A woman at Duke said she was doing porn to pay for college, and you object to people saying this was empowering.
I think it's just horrendous. I mean, you have this woman, she's a women's studies major, of course. I mean, and she goes online and she explains that this is very empowering for her, that
she makes money doing something that's not that difficult.
They're used, they contract STDs.
Some do, but some choose.
Well, I'm not going to get into an argument about legalized prostitution with you. This is not a question of whether it should be legal or not.
This is porn, not prostitution.
Right. Well, it is prostitution, essentially. They're getting paid to have sex. It just happens to be on camera. But the bottom line here is that I think feminists are suggesting that somehow this woman is going to be happy to have a Duke degree and having spent her 4 years being used by men on camera. And I just think ultimately that's not in her best interests.
Thank you, Naomi Schaefer-Riley.
Thank you.
Next, feminism or not, why are most business and political leaders still men? Here's one answer from Facebook's COO.
If you ask men why they did a good job, they'll say, I'm awesome. If you ask, obviously, why are you even asking? If you ask women why they did a good job, what they'll say is someone helped them, they got lucky, they worked really hard.